What does looking successful actually cost you? Not emotionally, not socially, but financially. Because for a lot of people in their 20s and 30s, the answer isn't obvious. It doesn't show up as one big expense. It shows up quietly, spread across your entire lifestyle. And that's exactly why it's so easy to miss. Let's take a simple example. You're 28. You live in a mid-sized city. You have a stable job, nothing extraordinary. You make about $70,000 a year. After taxes, that's roughly $4,200 a month. Now let's look at where that money goes. Your rent, $1,600. Car payment, $450. Insurance, fuel, maintenance, $300. Student loan, $400. Groceries and essentials, $500. Subscriptions, phone, utilities, $300. At this point, you've already spent around $3,550. What's left is about $650. And this is where things get interesting, because this remaining amount is where looking successful lives. You don't spend it randomly, it goes toward things that feel normal, even reasonable. Dinner out once or twice a week, occasional shopping, clothes that match your level, weekend trips, upgrading your phone a little earlier than necessary, maybe a nicer gym. Individually, none of this feels excessive, but together, it keeps you exactly where you are. No real savings, no real investments, no real margin. You're earning well, but not moving forward. The mistake isn't spending money. The mistake is confusing visibility with progress. Most of these expenses are visible. People see your car, they notice your clothes, they see where you go out. But the things that actually build wealth are mostly invisible. Savings, investments, paid off debt. So without realizing it, you start optimizing your life for what can be seen instead of what actually compounds. Let's take just one example. That $450 car payment over 5 years, that's $27,000. Add insurance and running costs, and you're closer to $45,000. Now imagine instead you chose something simpler, not cheap, just less driven by image. If you reduce that cost by even $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year, over 10 years, invested modestly. That's not just $36,000, it's closer to $50,000 to $60,000 from one decision. Now apply that same logic to rent, to travel, to constant lifestyle upgrades. Individually, they feel harmless, but together, they delay your financial independence by years, sometimes decades. And this isn't about being irresponsible. It's actually very predictable. Your environment changes, friends earn more, colleagues upgrade, social media resets what normal looks like, and your expectations adjust instantly. What used to feel like a luxury starts to feel like a baseline. So you're not trying to impress anyone. You're just trying to keep up with what now feels reasonable. That's the trap, because your income grows slowly, but your expectations change overnight. And if nothing changes, you earn more over time, but your lifestyle expands with it. At 35, you're still managing payments. At 40, you still depend on your salary. At 45, you're wondering why it still feels tight. There's no crash, no dramatic failure, just a slow delay of financial freedom. People who think differently about money don't always earn more. They just define success differently. They care less about how life looks and more about how flexible it is. They ask better questions. How much of my income do I actually keep? How dependent am I on my next paycheck? Am I buying this because I value it or because it fits my identity? They still spend, they still enjoy life, but they avoid turning temporary income into permanent expenses because every fixed cost reduces future freedom. Looking successful has a cost, not because these things are bad, but because of what they replace. They replace savings, they replace flexibility, they replace time, and most people don't notice the trade-off until much later. The goal isn't to reject comfort, it's to see clearly what each decision is doing to your future, because once you see it, you don't need discipline,